Well, we may be a few weeks away from the official start of spring, but many area realtors say the spring selling season is already shaping up a bit differently this year. 90s real estate expert Lane Lyon joins us to explain. Lane is a realtor and managing broker at Coldwell Banker. Thanks for coming in.
Well, good morning. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. Always nice to see you. All right, so how are things different this year?
Well, I tell you what, number one, it's the inventory. It's the number of homes on the market right now, and I think the February numbers are really going to show that right now. I think April and May, Corey, really get called out, I think, is the best times of the year to sell because of spring. I tend to tell my clients, let's go in March. Let's get ahead of that spring competition before your neighbors go on the market. But really this year it's different because your neighbors that were going on the market by the end of the year, some of them are still on the market because it's taken longer to sell. So that competition is still out there right now.
You never want like 4 for sale signs in your neighborhood. It's never good.
And that luck is always, it always happens that way. You go on the market and the neighbor goes on too.
So go on early. Okay,
yes.
I like that. So talk about some of the do's and don'ts. Let's start with the do's.
Sure. So the one thing you really want to make sure that you're doing is getting some of those projects out of the way before you go on the market. So let's make those repairs. We're talking about bringing the contractors in. Get those drywall repairs done. Get the carpet replaced. You know what you need to do to make your house look amazing. Why? Because buyers are choosy right now. They have a lot to choose from out there. So get those contractors in. Also, be ready to offer seller-paid concessions. Why? Because buyers know that they can go to new home builders, for example, and get 3.9% interest rate, 4.9% interest rate. So they will most likely come to you and ask for some help with interest rate buy downs. So don't be surprised if you see that in the contract when they buy your house. And be ready to do some staging in your home if needed. If your realtor says, you know what, I think we should do some staging, be open to this idea. In fact, I brought an example for you, Corey. Okay. Here is a house in Aurora that we put on the market, and they did some great work in there. They decluttered. This was kind of that formal living room. We don't know what to do with it. So they had a dog crate, and they did their best. They took the dog crate out. They cleaned up, but we were on the market for 91 days, and we took their furniture out, brought staging in, and let me show you the difference.
What?
Yes.
It looks totally different.
Once we rephotographed, put it on the market, we had 2 offers the first weekend.
No way.
Just because we put staging furniture in and it looked different online.
Staging makes a huge difference.
It looked more inviting, and I think it just helped bring people to the property.
Oh, I love that.
And my poor clients were like, really, was our furniture that ugly? Not necessarily. I think it just presented different, and 100% of buyers start online. We've got to look great online.
It's so funny because you look at that and it's so minimal, right? Like, and it's like people don't really live like that when you think about like the kitchen countertop, but that's what is appealing to me.
Absolutely. We've got to attract them when they're at home scrolling online.
Yes, I love that before and after. All right, what are some don'ts?
Well, first of all, resist the temptation to overprice. Look, I know how much money we want for the next house, but you really need to make sure you don't overprice. Why? Because buyers will come in, they will look, and they will wait. And that waiting game will be costly for you. You will end up lowering the price, and it will be painful. Trust me, because you will end up waiting. So don't overprice. Listen to your realtor and make sure that you are just pricing to the current market. Also, don't over improve. I've talked to clients who are like, should we do this? Should we finish the basement? No, you may not need to do all the projects you think you need to do. Go for the highest rate of return. And don't forget, this is a process. You may need to wait 30 to 40 days. That's normal for your neighborhood. So remember, it is spring, it is the selling season, and this does take some time, and that's okay too.
This is why I always say, just keep up with the repairs while you live there versus fixing it for someone else.
Yes. My mom and dad have brass and glass light fixtures. They say, please, let's change these out now. You will thank me later.
And they say, are you volunteering?
Oh, well, there is that too.
Yes. Lane, as always, thank you so much.
Yes.
Appreciate it. Chris?